Hi, this is the Art Life video blog, day 54. I'm William Woods, and this is Autumn's theme.
Christopher Washington.
My name is Jacob Wolf. And like William Woods said, this is the Art Life video blog, day 54. Thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate the support and the love from our audience. Without you and without the artists that we interviewed, this would be nothing, because we tried that. And it did not work so well.
Hey, you gotta try that, right?
So William and Autumn are curators.
Yes.
Been doing it for 5 years or so?
I've been doing it for, going into my 8th year this year.
Oh wow.
You started in Cincinnati.
Yeah, in Cincinnati.
Which is what you were telling us earlier.
Yeah.
Tell us kind of how you got into that.
Well, I actually showed at my first gallery show in like 2005 with a friend, Colin, in one of his spaces in Covington, Kentucky.
As an artist.
As an artist, yeah, as a
or
photographer.
a photographer.
Yeah, as a photographer.
That's me too.
That wasn't the artist high five right there. We totally missed.
A complete fail, which is my life.
And he had a party at Christmas time at his house, and I met Mason Paul, this curator from Cincinnati. He was kind of like this hotshot guy, and we started talking about music, and we both found out we were really into industrial, like EBM music, and so we hit it off. And he was like, "Hey, I've got this gallery space called Zoma. You should come check it out." And so I started going to his gallery openings, and we became fast friends. And then he had this project space that he opened in another part of Cincinnati, and he's like, "Hey, I've got this thing. I want you to come down and just look at it," because he knew I was in construction. And so I went down, and I ended up being his project manager on the project, and I renovated his gallery for him. And after that was 2006, so the 2007 year, he actually brought me on as a co-executive director with him, and that's where I learned the gallery business.
Okay. So did you at first did you intend to get involved in the gallery or the curating as a way to promote your own art, or you just dug the?
No, I like the whole vibe of, you know, getting to hang out with my newly found buddy, and I really like construction. We both had a vision for the space. It used to be this old bar with like wood paneling and stuff in it, and they gutted all that out. And what we did was, I told him my vision, he liked it, and we made it look like an old, worn out concrete industrial building. So we coated all, it was 60 feet deep and 16 feet wide, so it was roughly around 1,000 square feet, and it had like 12-foot ceilings. So we coated we did 60 gallons of drywall mud, and we used like this like cuts of rough cut cedar, like 2x4s, and that's how we mudded the entire walls with this. It took like 2 weeks for it to dry properly, because it was so thick, but it was almost like a stucco, but it looked like old concrete. And then I had a contact. I did a trade with him. I said, "Hey, if I build a website for your business, will you give us like 60 gallons of paint?" And he's like, "Sure." So I got 60 gallons of different shades of gray, and I did a theatrical spray in the gallery, floor, ceiling, walls, and it looked like an old dirty factory in there when we were done.
Nice.
So, and then we just, as we were in that space over the course of about a year and a half, we continued to, I was in there probably 4 or 5 days a week. After my job, I'd go down there and I'd continue renovating the space. So we'd open for our openings, and then it was by appointment only after that. So that was a really, I mean, he was getting the building for $500 a month. It was 1,000 feet up. He lived upstairs, and then it was 1,000 square feet for the gallery, and then it was 1,000 square foot basement in Cincinnati for $500 a month. So it was like, yeah. And the landlord was like, do whatever you want with it. So we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then that's where you fell in love with the curating and
Was construction your art before you became an artist?
I've been an artist my whole life. I started taking photographs when I was 10, so I've been doing photography for 28 years. That's how old I am.
You can do the math.
Yeah. I've been drawing since I was a little kid, painting, kind of the whole shebang-a-bang, but yeah, so I started actually woodworking the same year that I started to take photographs. So I've been a woodworker professionally, I've been a woodworker for about 18 years now.
Woodworker, you mean like furniture? Or?
Yeah, I do custom furniture, custom cabinets. I managed in Cincinnati, I managed a custom cabinet company. So I've trimmed, like finished carpentry, I've trimmed about 400 homes in my career. So I've done a lot. I've been in a lot of people's houses doing a lot of work. So
my grandfather was a finished carpenter.
it's good work.
Yeah, and it's got creative.
Yeah.
He did these cabinet doors for my grandmother that had light squares and dark squares, and they were all inlaid, and it was really pretty when he got done with it. It didn't last very long though. For some reason, it didn't hold together.
Yeah.
He did something wrong, but
Yeah, I had a guy that contacted me through a friend. He lives down in Grants Pass, and he was building a house off the grid. And he asked me, he had a whole workshop, and he said, hey, I've got all this wood, would you come down and teach me how to make cabinets? So I went down, and I stayed, his uncle owns the Roseburg lumber mill. So you see, like, you go to Lowe's and Home Depot, and you see Roseburg, that's his uncle's place.
wow.
So we stayed for free. We stayed with him and we stayed in their house, which was like a 5,000 square foot custom house down there. And I taught him we built his upper cabinet and his lower cabinet, and then he went from there and he figured it out. I showed him how to do it, and he built his entire kitchen.
Nice.
For me showing him how to do it. So it's relatively easy to build this stuff. So,
But your art has taken second fiddle to this curating now, huh?
yeah, totally. I mean, I still create pieces. I create a piece like once every 2 years or so, but it's all big and it's not something that sells. I do installation artwork, so I try and sneak it into a show here and there, and don't really call much attention. I do most of it's collaboration work actually. So I work with other artists, so it gives everybody a piece of the pie and not just me.
Yeah.
Like I come up with I get the vision for the piece, and then I recruit artists to come in and help. And one such thing, we're doing a show in February on Valentine's Day at Lightbox Culture House, and it's called O-Face. And the whole idea,
I'm going to be a part of this.
Awesome. This is a call right now.
Christopher should be a part of this.
I don't have orgasms.
You liar. You liar. You jack off more than anybody.
Oh my gosh. So this is a call to any artists or anybody that sees this that would be interested in taking part in the show. The whole idea is, it was originally pitched to street artists because they are anonymous people. They can't ever show their
They don't
faces.
have a face or identity.
And so the idea was pitched to a group of street artists, and they liked the idea of the show of doing something where they can photograph their face and be seen, but it's anonymous. And I just added the idea of the orgasm because it makes it more interesting than just
Photograph yourself in an orgasm and then create a painting based on that photograph?
No, it's
just the photograph.
It's just the photograph. So they can submit it to o-face.co anonymously. We have the way to submit it to us anonymously. And if you want to email it to us, that's fine. If you want credit, we'll credit you, but that's kind of weird unless you're into we will credit you if that's what you wanted to do, but most people will want to be anonymous with it, and we have ways to do it via Kik. We've got a Kik account, so you can send us pictures that way, and then you can do it through our website as well.
Say the website again. Or have we done it yet?
It's the letter O dash face FACE.co, not .com. And so you can, all of the information's on there, and our initial request is for 120 artists, but if we get more, then we'll do as many artist submissions as we get.
Awesome.
And so we're going to print it, and we're going to hang it in the space, and then we've also asked 10 other artists from the Portland area to paint panels that we've created, and they're going to do their interpretation of what an O-face would look like.
Okay, so that's where I got the painting thing.
Yeah.
And the show's Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah, the show is Valentine's Day.
It's romantic.
Yeah.
So what's
orgasms are romantic.
What's the deadline?
The deadline for the photographs is January 31st.
And you're printing them all yourself.
Yeah, we're printing them ourselves.
What's going to be the way you print them on?
We haven't decided yet. That's the beautiful thing about art and as artists, because we just don't know. We're waiting to see what kind of a response we get from artists. So if it's a lot, we may have fun with it and just print it on our inkjet printers at home, or go to like Kinko's and print them off. So it's got, kind of gritty images, whatever. But I'll probably do a lot of editing to the images, because I originally called for black and whites, but I've already gotten submissions and people can't figure out how to photograph on their iPhones or their Androids in black and white. So I'm like, just send me the picture. It takes me 5 seconds to make it black and white.
Yeah.
So
that's O-face, or orgasm face pictures.
Yeah.
The deadline is January 31st.
Yeah.
So make sure you get your O-faces in.
Show me your O-face.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we got Autumn Steam here too. She's the new face of steampunk. It says here on the emerging. This is a magazine that the two of them put together. But I want to talk about Autumn for a second. How did you guys meet?
We met through a mutual friend when I was living in Salem and he was doing a emerging artist show in Kaiser, Oregon. And she invited me to the show to go hang my art, and so I did, and that was in 2009. So we pretty much have been doing the emerging artist show since then.
Yeah.
One of these has, Autumn works in mostly mixed media.
Mixed media, fashion.
Fashion.
Or visual art, yeah.
A lot of different,
I've been a professional photographer since 2003.
Okay. So I just wanted to, here's some pictures of
That's awesome.
of some of her artwork.
That is really old stuff.
This is old stuff.
Stuff at autumnsteam.com.
At least autumnsteam.com.
Yeah.
The new face of steampunk. But this is just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. This magazine, Emerging Artist Magazine, was created by them, and I guess it's online.
Yeah.
It's online. Yeah, exclusively.
Yep.
How do people see it online?
Just go to emergingartistmagazine.com.
Okay. These are great. These are they're lengthy interviews of artists and why they do what they do and how they do what they do, and it's really high quality art.
Were your questions set? Like, did you just submit the same questions to every artist?
No.
So she did, her interview style was different than my interview style.
And that's what we're finding
Yeah.
when we're interviewing. Our interview styles are very different.
So I basically would look at the artists, and I would look at their work, and then I would decide what my questions would be. A lot of times, I basically told the artist, like, I'm just going to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And that's going to be my interview. And so I would sit down with them, I'd go to their studio, talk to them on Skype, whatever, and just have a conversation with them on the phone, whatever it was. And then I would record it, and then I would just go back, and that would be my notes for like when I talked with Gary Hirsch, who does the Joybots.
Joybots.
Yeah.
The orange one.
He's a Portland artist. He has a
That's on a domino.